Good evening, good evening, good evening. And I want to welcome you to another edition of Yes You. We're so glad to have you on this fine day. I'm so glad to have Jonna with me and Tyrone. And we are, yes, giving some love both to y'all. I tell you, y'all just my babies. You just don't understand how much I love y'all on here. That was my, I somehow I slipped into that baby talk. When you talking to the babies, like, oh yeah, but y'all my babies. You all are grown, but you're still my babies. We want to welcome you to tonight's edition of Yes You. And I'm actually digress for a minute because I just learned something about Jonna, and I'm going to ask her to hold up her wares. Jonna is let's see, well, what is it? Is it knitting, crocheting? Uh-oh, Jonna, I think I lost your volume. I can't hear you. Tyrone, how
Hello there.
are you? Do you have some crocheting or some knitting for me to look at today?
No, that I don't have.
No, no. What did you do special this week?
This week, just worked. Yeah,
Oh,
just worked. The usual. Um, yeah, just worked.
all work and no play makes Jack
All,
a dull boy.
yeah, all work. In the health insurance industry, it's still pretty busy. So,
Oh man, I can only imagine. Even more
yeah.
so, how have you seen a difference in cases and clients since COVID-19? Can you see any difference at all in your workload, or is it just basically the same workload that you've always had?
Well, we've taken on a lot of the insurance claims that come through. So our Medicaid division is really busy because we're getting a big portion of the medical claims that are coming through for people either being tested or their treatment for it. So we're having to like reorganize a lot of departments, change a lot of things system wise to be able to take on the workload. I think anybody who can work overtime right now is working overtime right now. I know we're starting to hire a lot of people because the claims are just coming through, and now we're at a point where we like a lot of practitioners and clinics are starting to become in network with United Healthcare just to be able to be paid properly. So on my end, we're having to really rush through a lot of new agreements with practitioners and clinics to get them in our system.
So all these people that are getting tested, they have to pay for that out of pocket. Is that what you're telling me? I heard paying for the testing and so on and so forth. Who's paying for that?
Well, they don't pay for it, but whoever's administering the test will submit a claim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Help me get clear on that, because
yeah. No, they're not paying for it,
I
but
already have another tizzy.
yeah. I mean, we still have to compensate the people who are out there on the front line. So yeah, they're not charging the actual member, but United Healthcare has taken on a big part of processing those claims that are coming through.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Mhm.
I got you. That makes sense. Jonna, before we lost you there for a hot second, I was trying to get a peek at your crocheting. Is that a crochet or knit?
It's a crochet.
What's the
Can you
difference between
hear me?
crochet and knitting? Yeah, we can hear you
Yeah.
now. We can
Okay.
hear you. What's the difference between
the
crochet and
the
knitting?
the knitting comes with the two needles, and you kind of do
Oh,
work
yeah,
both of the needles, and the crochet is just one hook.
yeah. Okay, got it.
Oh.
So show us
So
your beautiful handiwork. Now Christmas time is coming. She didn't.
Oh wow.
yeah, it's a blanket.
How
Oh,
long did it take you to do that?
Well, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Just
Oh
in my
wow.
spare time, I use it for a relaxation method.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not that big, and whatever. But I mean, it is big. It's a blanket. But
so how
yeah.
much do like per day? How much do you? Is it a lot that you're able to accomplish in a day's period, or does it take quite a while to get any size so many rows and so many whatever done. I can't do any of that. I used to do needlepoint just a little bit, but I love
I love
needlepoint.
needlepoint. Me too.
Yeah, but I did jackleg needlepoint. If you really know how to do needlepoint, when you flip it over, the front obviously is the beauty of the picture, but the back still looks good. If you look at my needlepoint, the front would be like, "Oh, that is so pretty," but when you flip that thing over, baby, it's all kind of madness.
Mine too. Knots everywhere.
That's when you know you're not doing it right. They talk about
Right.
when you instead of not. And when you get to a certain point, you take the needle and you catch the thread in and say, "Child, please, not here, not there, not everywhere."
Me either.
Oh wow.
Listen, at the end.
Oh wow.
What y'all got going on down in Texas?
My trash can just went across my yard. This weather getting bad.
Oh.
I think it's in the pond.
Now listen.
Don't you get in that pond, Tyrone. Don't you get in there. You better let that trash can go.
I heard a thunder, and that made me look out the window. And when I looked out the window, I literally just saw the trash can go across the yard.
It was caught up to meet him in the air.
Right. Oh wow. Okay. Well.
It had its own personal rapture.
Yeah. Oh well, about that. If it's in the pond, that's up to the HOA to get it out.
He said it was saved. He got caught up. He got left.
Wow.
Jonna, Sheila said it is very pretty.
Thank you, Sheila.
Now she, I can't remember if it's knit crochet, whichever one it is, but she does some of that. I don't have that gift, and sews out of this world. So my hat's always off to people that can do that kind of stuff for real. Now listen. I said we're going to do a continuation. I had a friend. She may be out there listening. So Debbie, if you're out there listening, I'm gonna jump on your bandwagon here just for a second. So I couldn't move on because last week you guys talked these folks into a state of oblivion. I got calls, I got texts, I got you name it. Listen, one of our viewers was watching after in her own on-demand rebroadcast, and while she was watching it, she was texting me, making all her comments and angry comments and animated comments while she watched. So I actually had Debbie, who was going to be on tonight, but she's having some physical issues, so she's not going to jump in. I did send her the link in case she wants to come on like we did the school teacher.
Come on.
But in the meantime, there was such an uproar to the idea that no mask, no bed.
Really? I thought that would have been the least talked about part.
Right.
Baby. Well,
it came from the pastor, so that gives him a little shook up.
Hey,
Deb.
Hey, Deb, come on in.
She's gonna come in or she's gonna type a whole lot. So let me give you her point of view. Now, Tyrone, some of your comments I'm gonna get on some of those other comments too. This is gonna be, if you look at, I said this is the continuation of this and that, which is what last week was entitled. So I needed to come back because and everybody out there, I'm looking up to see if everybody out there that called me on the phone, text me, and everything else in between, I want you, if you have to, you let us know. We're going to send you a link. We want you to come in because Tyrone,
come on in the room.
This course got hot and the folks were, they were feeling it. Now, to my surprise, I saw some, hey, Deb, I'm so glad you're here because you can make sure I don't mess this up. So I saw some things in response to some shocking statements that Tyrone, you made in positions, and you had support from the young people.
Well,
the young people were, Jonna, I'm telling you, we're getting old. Hey, Debbie. All of the young people were in agreement with Tyrone's comments.
Wait a minute, wait. That they're going to vote for Trump about the little raggedy ass checks?
Listen,
Those checks will turn your life around.
that's what they said. They said those checks were enough to do it.
Bring them on in. Bring them in the room.
Come on.
I got their back.
In the room. So, Tyrone's position, to my shock, stun, and amazement, young folks are buying that crap.
Oh my God.
I think we've got an uphill battle because I'm not going to lie, Tyrone. I thought you were one out of the only. I should say the one in. I couldn't even say out of. I kept tabulating. No, not that either. The only that would take the position that you took. Now hold on, because I'm gonna let you think about it.
Okay.
Is that wind getting ready to catch you up? Because you keep looking at that door like
I'm waiting to see what I was about to go across the yard. So
are you about to be in tornado mode in the ditch somewhere?
I don't know.
You are really looking.
I'm just waiting to see what is about to fly across my window.
Oh, Joanna said Jay's ready tonight. Come on with it, Joanna, because it's about to get. That's why I said we might as well go on to part 2. We might as well go on to part 2.
I'm on with it.
Part 1 was not sufficient. Now let's go. I'm gonna first start to defend myself, and then Tyrone, I'll let you defend yourself in a second. And Jonna, I'm gonna let you get ready because I can tell the look on your face is already. If them little raggedy checks,
not raggedy ass checks. There's a difference.
I feel it already. Tyrone, listen, if you need to run, listen, Joanna.
I'm inside the house. I'm just, as long as it don't come to the window, I'm good. But I'm just being, if I see something, I'm like, okay.
Listen, hold Anita's thought for just a minute, engineer, because I want to get Debbie in here because I got her right now. I know she's got pain and suffering. So in case she has to leave us, I want her to be able to jump in and defend herself. Now, yes, the pastor said, if you don't wear I said, you know what Nene Lee said? I said what I said. If you don't wear a mask, you don't get a bed.
The pastor
said it. The pastor said it. Now, I do want to say that Debbie is a good, God-loving, smoking Christian.
And not smoking Christian.
Yeah, she's a smoking.
As in like.
Yeah, as in that. Wait a minute, you might even get. No, Debbie. Okay, Debbie. I'm just playing. Okay, so and for all that are out there getting tense or whatever, because listen, we don't roll in any kind of negativity any way, shape, or form. So hold your horses, and that's not about to be the issue of topic of issue. The thing is, she chewed me up one side and down the other and did research. I said, Debbie, go ahead and start chatting, start typing now, because it's going to take you the whole time that I'm talking to get all this up in the chat. She Googled this thing. She wasn't playing. I mean, mother was heated with me. No G. You all out of order. Because she said that would be the same as saying to her that cigarettes let you in.
Let me in.
So that would be the same as saying that if she gets cancer, God forbid, and we're not expecting it and we bind it and all of that good stuff, but should she get cancer, she cannot get treatment because she smoked a cigarette.
Well, if she gets cancer from smoking the cigarettes, she should get treatment. But in the event she gets cancer and she continues to smoke the cigarettes, then we have a different situation.
Oh,
because I mean, even my father's dealing with that now. So he should have stopped drinking a long time ago. the doctors are literally telling him they won't put him on the list to get a liver because he continues to drink.
Debbie said, "Let me in." She wants to talk.
Let her in, because Deb, if you smoking them cigarettes with cancer,
Oh, Lord.
you can't ask for treatment.
Engineer. Oh, he said. Now wait. Now he's the mugwump. She said, "Let me in. Let me in. Let me in." Okay. Rashida, can you send her a link? I think I already got one sent. Debbie, look in your chat. Look in your messenger on Facebook. Look in Facebook on your messenger and click that link and come on in. Come on in. We're gonna let you in, girl. We're gonna let you. Those cigarettes are gonna get you in.
Tell Deb, take a deep breath before she come in, though.
And she gonna be puffing on her cigarettes when you bring her
Tyrone, you take a deep breath, sir. You need to take one.
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm hundreds of miles away from you, so.
Baby, I think you now, Tyrone. This is what I want to understand. How are you gonna flip the script? And after you done talk about what the pastor said, you can't get a bed, then you want to turn. You wanted to, Debbie, you never should have trusted him. Y'all better hurry up and get her up.
It's not a turn, because the original statement was, if you don't wear a mask, you don't get a bed. That shouldn't be the case, because you could wear a mask and still get it. But if you get cancer from smoking cigarettes, you won't find out you have cancer, but you still continue to smoke cigarettes, then treatment should be, because at this point you said, okay, I'm good, I want to go on away from here.
Now listen, y'all not making sense to me, because that sounds like the exact same argument that I have for the Jonna. You trying to look innocent over there, but I need some clarification. What's the difference? What is the difference?
Do we know for sure that a mask will stop us from getting it?
Well, we don't know for sure that cigarettes cause cancer, according to the investigation that Debbie can't find the link. Rashida, can let me
Debbie,
see.
put those cigarettes down. It's in your email.
Lord have mercy.
I'm trying to tell you. So at the end of the day, you are saying the same thing that I said about the mask. I do not understand how you see a difference.
I feel a difference because in the cancer situation, you've been diagnosed as having it, but you still contribute to your issue. I think we don't know if a mask is going to stop us from, like, I saw a little story about if you have on jeans and you pee on yourself, even though you pee on yourself, your pants are still going to get wet. So never mind. You have to see the whole story. But
let's leave that one out. I don't want to hear that one.
You have to see the whole story to understand. Yeah.
Listen, Tyrone, you are saying the same. You are doing a double standard, sir. That is a double standard.
We can't turn people away from help because they didn't wear a mask. Now, if they don't wear a mask and get treatment and then come back because they caught it again behind some foolishness, then we have something else to look at. Just like with cancer, someone get diagnosed with cancer, the doctor treats you and says you need to stop X, Y, and Z. You continue to do X, Y, and Z, and you come back. I'm not going to take away from somebody who really wants to change their habits.
Jonna, I need you to talk. I need you to talk and talk fast, because I can't get no understanding.
I'm not denying anybody treatment. I don't think it's really the same thing, because when you're talking about, I don't know, when you're talking about smoking, you're taking a risk. But the same thing with the mask, that you need to have a mask on, so you need to just wear one. That's it. Wear one and that's it. That's all I got on it.
And I think the most shocking thing was that it came from the pastor.
Oh, that's not shocking to me.
Now, this is what I want to say about that. Now I feel like even in saying that, I'm being spiritual.
And how was that?
Cry loud, spare not. If you ain't gonna wear a mask, you don't need a bed.
It tickles me every time I hear you say it.
Right.
If you're not gonna wear a mask, because at the end of the day, Tyrone, you are basically making the argument against cigarettes, and I contend that you are biased against the cigarettes because it's the same thing, Tyrone. It's the same thing. How are you going to say if you get cancer and continue to smoke, you shouldn't get treatment?
Because you're continuing to contribute to your illness, and that's with anything. You shouldn't get treatment. Once you find out you have it, and then you get treatment. But once you're told, this is what you need to change, and you continue what you're doing, then we have to look at something else. Because now we're wasting resources at that point.
Well, but I mean, that's the argument that I'm making with you're talking about wasting resources, but that is the argument that I'm making in saying that they don't have resources to give. Now, I see everybody's coming on saying they agree with they disagree with me, and that's all fine and good. That's all fine and good. I'm like the other folk, the lighter melanin folk with their guns. I'm gonna stand my ground.
Somebody please call Deb on 3-way so she can get in.
I'm trying to help Debbie get in. I'm trying to get Debbie in. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm almost Rashida, did you see my private chat, engineer?
Yes, I did. And if you want to, I can do it.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
So Debbie said you're passing judgment. So at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm saying that because they don't have beds, they don't have resources, there's not enough. They already know this. That's why they're making the ethics committees to Debbie is dying over here. That's why they're making the committees to determine who to send home to die. Now, I'm still saying, I mean, y'all, this is real. This is real stuff. So I have an issue, and I'm gonna say it again. If either one of you two that I told you off the bat, y'all my babies, y'all my babies, y'all know y'all my babies. If either one of you two that have been so good about masking, social distancing, and everything else, now I'm just keeping it real. If you all get sick unto death, and you've done all of that and probably got it from somebody out there that wouldn't wear a mask. If you end up sick and they take them over you, and we also brought in the issue of insurance because we know the differences and the deficiencies that exist in insurance. I'm going to be mad as fish grease if they send y'all home and take them in.
Now, from that aspect, I can understand where there's limited resources. So then, not everyone has limited resources.
They already know they don't have enough beds. They don't have enough beds right now. What are you saying?
So then there needs to be a different triage process. But the way it came across at first was you wear no mask, you get no bed.
No, I said, now if y'all think about it, even on last week, because I used Jana as my example, as my lone example, I said if Jana, because I'm gonna fight I'd rather fight than switch. I'm going to fight to the nth degree. I'm going to beat you down. I'm going to knock your head off. I'm going to need to get on the altar and get saved again.
Yes.
If you do something to my girl.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All of that. Now, if you tell me that she has been social distancing and wearing a mask and she comes down with this plague of a virus and she's not going to get a bed because somebody that's been out there trotting around with their hot cheeks and no mask, they don't get a bed.
So then will we tell them, oh, you have to go because you haven't been wearing a mask?
Baby. Baby. Is that kind of like between the knee and the navel?
I'm still confused of what's between the knee and the
What?
I'm still waiting on that session.
I'll come back to that.
Oh, okay.
No, but what is the difference, Tyrone? I mean, what is the difference with that and the cigarettes? Are we gonna stand there and tell somebody, you can't catch breath and you choked all up because you got COPD and everything else? We're not going to give you any oxygen because you shouldn't have been smoking.
Well, my thing is we treat everybody who needs to be treated, regardless of who you are and how you got whatever you got. But if you're continuing to still, you have this illness and still go out there and continue to contribute to what your illness is, we can't then at that point just continue to waste resources on people who don't want the help. I mean, we have to save those resources for people who do want it. But in the beginning, we initially treat everyone to save everyone's life. Whether you smoke cigarettes or you drink liquor or you didn't wear a mask.
Are you saying like 45, a mask does not help?
No, not at all. No.
Okay, so you do feel like the mask is a first line of protection and defense. It's not full proof, but you do agree that it does flatten the curve and slow down and impede the spread.
Being that we don't know a lot of it, I feel the mask gives us a sense of security that we're being safe. Just some type of face covering. So, yes, it may slow down the process, but we don't know that for sure. I honestly feel almost all of us have come in contact with it, whether we're wearing a face mask or not. And there's really no true explanation of how we can contain it and how we get it. But I feel the mask gives us a sense of security in that we're doing something safe to protect us from getting it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm not converted. I'm not converted because I thinketh that you talketh out of both sides of your necketh.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
I thinketh that you talketh out of. Listen. I'm about to call Debbie on the phone and
please call her.
Just turn her on because I don't know why she can't get this link to work. But I really want her to blast you real good. And
no, we don't want. We want to keep Debbie coming back. So.
I'm just saying, Tyrone, we're saying the same thing, dear. We're saying the same thing.
So does Debbie feel that no mask, no bed?
Debbie, are you on here?
I'm here.
Can y'all hear Debbie?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Deb.
Okay, where are we at? Because I was messing with phone.
You said what now?
What part are we on? Where are we talking about? Where are we at? Where y'all at? A whole lot of what I did to entertain. But we need
Come on, Debbie.
She said, back that thing up.
Wherever Debbie want to start.
Yeah. My thing about that is that, number one, you can't just say, we're going to go back and prove it about what cigarettes are. Because look on my cigarette package, it says, Surgeon General's warning, cigarette smoke contains carbon monoxide. Now, that's what got me stirred up, and that's when I went to go see. I said, well, carbon monoxide, well, I wonder what else does carbon monoxide reside in. And in the course of doing that, I found out not only, oh, Lord, have mercy, let's see. I found out that did you know that carbon monoxide is in the food that you eat? The stuff that they put on food to make it all pretty when you're picking out all that meat in the grocery store, that it is sprayed with carbon monoxide. So all I'm saying is that cigarettes, you can't say that cigarettes long as it gives you cancer because there's a whole lot of stuff out here that gives you cancer. Even in this area that I live in, the small guy here is so crazy that I just can't believe that they talking about cigarettes kill. Can't believe. And then on top of that, it's in your stove, it's in your washer and dryers. All of this can bring on cancer. So how you gonna say that because I got cancer, I'm not deserving to get treated when you don't know how I got it? Hello.
Pastor, I think that's to you because that's what I said.
Wait a minute now. He's trying to defer and say,
Pastor, I think that's on you because I believe that's what I said.
No. You said if she continues to smoke,
correct.
If the cancer patient that smokes cigarettes continues to smoke, they should no longer get treatment because that's wasting resources.
Correct.
That's what you said.
What'd she say?
She said that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So I guess if you get cancer breathing this air, you need to go on and take it to the left because you shouldn't get treated either because you was breathing.
Well, when I find out that I can get cancer from breathing air, then we have to take a look at that. Maybe I need to stop breathing it. But I never knew that. I mean, the carbon monoxide in cigarettes cause cancer. That's something I had to research. But we do know there's a link between smoking cigarettes, whether you're the smoker or the person secondhand smoke, that has a link to cancer. But if you get cancer, you should be treated and take the guidance of your physician. But if you continue to go down that same road, then something has to change because, I mean, they can't try and help you and you don't want to help yourself. Y'all froze?
Did you hear what he said?
No.
she can watch it back. She can watch it back.
Oh, that was great.
You say what? Oh, Debbie, I wish we could get you in.
I'm in.
Do you see? Okay. Keep coming in, and Rashida pull you into the studio because I'm trying to.
I got my. Let me put my cigarette out.
She said, "Let me."
Dad,
She said, "Let me put my cigarette out."
you're not gonna get cancer on my watch.
Can't get in, child. Put the cigarette
Put the cigarette down.
and then focus on the link, child.
You're not gonna get cancer on my watch.
If the woman want to smoke, let her smoke.
No, I don't mind the smoking, but I need you to focus.
She said, "Let me put my cigarette."
Let me put my cigarette out. Oh boy.
Oh, y'all got me hurting.
Hey, babe.
Hey, Carol.
Hey.
Yeah, buddy. Y'all just had me going, baby. You just don't try out the apartment I got up here, honey. But honey, yes, yeah. These are my babies. They here with us too. They have a home. Mine don't just live like this. They live in a home.
But let me tell you, that's why I say it gets me so, because that just ain't right. Now we're gonna go all the way back to where it says about the no mask. What was it? No mask, no bed, no bed, no mask, no mask, no bed.
And that came from the pastor.
Now, Regina, you know you ripped your collar on that one.
Oh.
Collar was twisted.
Oh. She said,
"Where is my? I can't hear y'all."
Can you hear me, Deb? She messed around, lost the sound. Prophetess.
What happened?
Okay, I can hear you, but you must have froze up.
Mm-hmm.
You froze up.
That red collar is the cracks, though.
The Lord is getting you for saying that my collar is twisted.
Twisted.
The Lord said, "No, you shall not say my daughter's collar is twisted."
I can't hear you, but okay.
Oh shoot!
Yeah, she froze.
Yep, you froze up.
That's passing judgment to me, y'all. As Christians, it's not for us to say the reason why things happen, the choices that we make in life, is not always our own. Unless we walk in the shoes then we really don't know what's going on or what has driven people to make the choices that they make. You know, it's easy for us to all be good, and when we live in good, how and how.
Uh-oh, lost the sound, lost the audio. She may need to. I'm gonna if she. Well, I don't know if she can see anything or not. I was gonna put down in chat to tell her to go out and come back in. And we'll keep talking. So anyway, wait a minute. The Harvey 1952 said this is the cracks. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand that at the end of the day, now what I said, so I can get some clarification, and we'll bring Debbie back when she can get back in. But what I was saying was exactly to the point of, because resources are already challenged. Now, I think, do y'all not feel like that's a caveat that I need to put in there, that everybody understands why I'm saying what I'm saying? The resources are already challenged, and they are saying they are going to create ethics committees to determine who gets treatment and who doesn't. And I'm saying, why make an ethics committee when you know, if you are aware that the individual refused to mask, why not start with them as the first point of elimination?
I just think us as Christians, as Deb put it,
As
I mean,
don't be trying to pass it on, Deb. You said the same thing.
as Deb put it, us as Christians, I mean, I don't think there should be an ethics committee. The thing is, the goal should be to save everyone's life, but if you continue to participate in that bad behavior, then we have to look at something else, because then at that point we're just wasting resources that are already limited.
But Tyrone, there is, so we're not talking about something that might be. There are ethics committees being formulated, which is why I made the statement. There are ethics committees being formulated. So all I'm saying, and I was really trying to, Debbie's probably gonna have to go out and come back in, but I was really trying to get the point, drive the point home that at the end of the day, ethics committee can start, number one, if you refuse to wear a mask. And if I've got, again, I'm not lying, I'm being as honest as I can, I've got either one of you versus somebody that's been unmasked this whole time, I don't even think it should be a question.
To be honest, I think the ethics committee that's out there, it's all coming down to insurance.
Well, that's not ethical.
Not at all.
But I mean, that's going to be the truth. I mean, a lot of patients that are going in to get treatment and get tested, they're not paying for it. So when you come down to, are we going to keep someone here that's not paying for this treatment in this whatever the treatment is, versus for someone who can pay for it, they're probably going to go with the person who can pay for it. Because I know for us, you know, the patient isn't paying for it because it's running through Medicare. We're going to pay you what the state would pay you, regardless of what you have to do for the person. So you could submit a $100,000 claim. We're only going to pay the practitioner in the clinic what the state would pay them to just take care of the flu or something. So it's really coming down to who can pay for it. Yes, the whole mask thing would be great, but to be honest, that's not how it's working.
You know, I should have queued up, and Johnny, we haven't given you a chance to hardly say two words.
Oh no, this is great. Go ahead.
I should have queued up. There was a video that showed, and I think some people may have seen it, that was circulating on Facebook, and it was just really, it's true of hygiene, period, and covering your mouth for all the people that want to get to the restaurant and then start and then blowing your nose at the table and all that nasty stuff. The issue really is showing the covering of the mouth and how much is really stopped by covering your mouth, and the distance that particles can travel when you don't do it. And that was one that came out some time ago when all of this with the number 45 saying that, you know, what he says and does, and, you know, on and on and on and on. But I think there is some reality that just from basics of, if you can see something like that, you can see the effect that masks do serve to at least impede it. Nothing is foolproof, but to at least impede it. And I think, to speak to what you're kind of saying in the sense of where she's back.
Man, I know I missed a lot, but y'all go ahead.
So I think it shows that there is some help by wearing the mask, not just some, but a lot of help from wearing the mask. And if you won't at least put that effort forward, is all I'm saying. If you won't put any effort forth, then when you start getting, okay, so Debbie, I'm trying to address the issue that I'm not saying just don't wear a mask, you don't get a bed. Because really what I was addressing on last week was the idea with them creating ethics committees. And they said they're sending folks home to die because they don't have the resources. They don't have the beds. They don't have the medicines. They don't have the vents. They don't have any of that. So they're sending people home to die, and have comprised ethics boards and committees to determine who goes home and who gets treatment. And all I'm saying now, so I'm really trying to fashion and form this to the meat of my statement, that if any one of you who has been diligent in following the rules, especially wearing the mask, should fall ill, and then somebody show up and the ethics committee is trying to make a determination between who to send home and who to keep, I feel like if you didn't wear a mask, that's the first one off the list. And that's where I came up with, if you don't wear a mask, you don't get a bed. Oh, we lost her again. So that whole essence of understanding that one point, because I think that's a huge point. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jonna? That's a huge.
It is a huge point. If you make the choice not to wear a mask and then you get sick and then you boot somebody out of the bed, I ain't gonna be able to ride with that. I'm just not. I just can't do it because it's just not fair. Now, like Tyrone said, you know, fairness is not hardly at the top of the list of how decisions are made. It's just not. But it's not right. I don't think it's not ethical at all. And I mean, it is what it is.
And see, I think I'm trying to tiptoe and tap dance more so on ethics than, you know, what you guys are talking, because I know we like to be politically correct. Politically correct is not always correct. Politically correct is not always just. Politically correct is not always ethical. And so at the end of the day, I'm really saying, and I'm charging people for their own personal conscience. Now, I know Debbie, if she were here right now, she is really, really adamantly opposed because she feels like there is a crossing over into judging people. And I see the chat, you know, y'all were really going forth over there, and y'all kind of slowed down when we were trying to get Debbie in here. But at the end of the day, I guess all I'm trying to say is, man, hold your own self accountable. Woman, hold your own self accountable. If you felt like you made a choice and you were big and bad enough to not wear a mask, be big and bad enough to say no to a bed when resources do not allow for two people to get that same one bed.
But then we run into the thing of, would someone actually say they didn't wear a mask if they were sick?
Well, that's lying. That's another ethics issue.
So, I mean, it would, yeah.
It's all ethical to me. That's what I'm saying. It's a matter of ethics, not necessarily political correctness. And you bring out the point over and over again, which makes me angrier, that really the bottom line is really who's got insurance that can cover it. It really ain't about none of this other stuff that we talking about. It's about green, mean, buying machine.
I mean, and it's the truth. It's sad, but it's the truth.
But do we buy into that same concept? Is that what we live by? Come on, y'all. I mean, is that really what we've reduced ourselves to in America?
Yeah, it's looking that way. I mean, we would want it to be a different system, but I mean, that's how things get going. That's how a lot of decisions are made. It's all about the money, who has it and who doesn't.
I'm gonna have to agree wholeheartedly right there. Not
And
that
that's
it's
why
right.
we're impacted the most.
So are we really upset about masking or not masking, or is it really? I see a whole lot over here. Joanna was agreeing with Deb. Hospitals would be empty if we were so selective. They really don't know if cigarettes cause cancer. My lung patients did not smoke, and there are a lot of people that didn't smoke and came up with cancer. So I mean, that's a valid point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Joanna, chat me there. Are you saying then since we can't prove a mask, that they are within their rights, particularly to say they're out here toting guns and everything else, talking about it's my right not to wear a mask. So question to everybody in the chat, to my co-partners here. Do you think masks matter? And I'm going to shut up for a second. I'm going to watch the chat and I'm going to listen to what you two have to say. And engineer, galactic supervisor, start putting these responses up so we can see them. Because I want to see. Y'all chat me in the chat room. Do you think masks make a difference or not?
I would say, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, in populations where you see people wearing masks more, you tend to see less cases. A lot of times when you see a rise in cases where people have been careless and not wearing masks. That's why they they closed down the bars, because after 1 or 2 drinks, we're all very social with each other. So I feel masks do matter. Now, should you get treatment not for wearing a mask is a different story. But I feel that masks are very important, especially in this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they're 100%, but I think they certainly help. It's not foolproof, of course. I see people mask under the nose and all kind of crazy stuff. But I mean, it's better than nothing. I'll say that. It's better than nothing.
Okay. Sheila Miles, the current health insurance system is not just. Thanks, Doc. Exactly. Joanna, masks do matter. Thank you, Joanna. Anita, will the ethics committee put race in the equation? Yes, I believe masks matter. So is somebody having a tornado warning?
That's in my living room. Let me go turn that off.
This whole house gonna be gone in a second. No, I find that I ain't even putting that out in energy out in the outer space. But so then we all agree that the mass matter. Now, Joanna said race is always an issue, and that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So and I somehow, to me, the mask can be some kind of equalizer against race if I follow the mandate and I'm following the rules and the regulations. At least give me something. I may not have the money, I may not have the insurance, but at least give me the opportunity for a bed over someone who would not wear one because they knew their insurance would cover.
I would say that would be the nice thing to do, but I hate to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. We're speaking of these folks as if they really and truly care, and
they don't care.
They do not. Not at all. You are a chart, a number on a screen, and that is it. So you need to wear your mask so you don't have to go there and put your fate
Right.
in the hands of somebody else.
Well,
Right.
what's the point of me wearing my mask and doing everything like you told me to do, and I get to the place and I can't get a bed because an unmasked person is laying up in it?
Mhm.
As we move on, because that's not going to be resolved tonight.
I don't think it is ever.
I have to say, what the devil, Johnny, get a good swig. You might need to take another one. These daggum checks. You mean to tell me these daggum checks, Tyrone? I
Mhm.
cannot believe that people were in agreement about these checks. And I'm also shocked, stunned, and amazed that a lot of people feel like the people are not deserving of the $600. Jonna, there you go.
I got to hear this one.
I don't have anything nice to say to anybody. What in the hell are you talking about? I don't. Just like I said last week, something's wrong with you. You're not thinking clearly. $600. Come on now, you spend $600 at Walmart and Quick Trip.
But
I'm just
a lot
saying.
of people are making more with their unemployment and that $600 than they do when they were actually working.
Tyrone, do you disagree that a lot of people are living below poverty level?
Do I disagree with that?
Yes.
No, I don't disagree with that. I feel most people are living below poverty level.
So a lot of those people that are making that little piece of change, little piece of change, still are not going to be at poverty level. What are we talking about here?
But as the economy slightly opens back up, we have to start to, get back into the swing of going back to work. How long is the country supposed to continue to give this extra money?
Trump, 45, Orange Dust, Agent Orange,
Mm-hmm.
the Cheeto, she's back. Whatever you want.
California's crazy. I swear. I'm having a hard time.
How long? And we'll come back to you, Deb. But how long? What do you mean? This man had the people wearing masks. This insane administration really put us in the position that we are in right now. So when you turn around and say, how long do you expect us to support you with this money? You're the one that put us in this position.
But choices.
Oh my God.
Choices. The key thing you said, people didn't wear masks. So they made choices to not wear masks, which kept everything going. So things shut down. Things are starting to open back up now. How long is the government supposed to support people? Now, I understand unemployment, but some people are living much better now than they lived when they were working.
And they still po. Not
but
poor.
they eating good. But they eating good.
What do you mean they eating good?
And that's why and that's why I say once everything got shut down and they stopped doing the extra $600 and all that type of stuff, Trump came on in with his executive order and he saved the people. And not saying but this is my thing. I'm not saying he saved the people. That's the image that comes across. So that's why I say he's playing towards the base of people, low income people, because they're gonna feel everything was cut down. The Republicans and Democrats couldn't come to an understanding to keep things going, so everything was stopped. People were starting to get evicted and losing their mortgages, and just surviving off the 25% of their income from unemployment. And what did he do? He came on in and said, "I'm gonna sign this executive order, and I'm gonna overturn everything, and I'm gonna give y'all this." He played to a base.
Tyrone.
Yes.
$600. I live out here on the West Coast.
Okay.
You keep talking about $600. $600 out here gives you nothing. So even if he gave me, even if I was unemployed, so you already know your unemployment check is less than the check you're going to make. $600 added on top of that is not even giving me a full paycheck. My rent alone out here for a 1-bedroom, and I don't know if y'all familiar with California, 1 bedroom, 3 rooms, I pay $1,100 a month, period. That does not include lights, gas, nothing else. That's rent only. Now, what is $600 going to do for me? Or what has it done for me?
And I can understand that.
Even if I was,
where you are.
You keep saying the $600 like it made a big difference and people are eating good, all that. A lot of people were still struggling before they even before COVID even kicked in. So I say, for instance, I'm one of those people that are struggling anyway, and my job got cut. Okay, now I'm on unemployment and you give me $600 and I'm supposed to be happy? Because now I'm still falling behind because I'm still not meeting my quota, what I'm used to living at, even when I was struggling with what I was getting.
Come on.
And I'm not saying you're supposed to be happy, but it's better than when everything was stopped, people got nothing. So when I'm saying,
if I was still employed, if I was still employed, still doing my thing, and my job got cut, it wouldn't be better. I'd still be making less money than what I was making if I get up and go out of the door.
But you were making
because unemployment is less. Unemployment, number one, is less than what I'm going to get.
Correct.
Making my full-time job, you throw $600 on top of that. That's not going to match. It won't match my income.
Correct,
So
but it was something. But it was something. So when I say Trump played,
what is something when I'm not meeting my quota? I'm still
well.
stressed.
I mean, if you want, with no $600, you won't go meet it no way. So what I'm saying is, when I say Trump played to a base to get people to vote for him, I'm saying because people were already struggling and people lost their jobs. So once everything stopped, once the government couldn't just come to a decision on what to do, and people were probably just getting their unemployment, that $400 he decided to give people was better than nothing. Versus what now both Republicans and the Democrats hadn't come to a decision. So people were just getting their unemployment once everything got cut off. People were getting evicted. People were losing their homes. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying people have to be happy for what the amount is, because depending on where you are, like you said, $600 ain't gonna help nobody. But it was something.
And some were saying
But to me, something means nothing as far as I'm concerned. Because if I can't meet my quota every month, that doesn't make it feel any better. Because now I have to make it even worse, because now I'm going to have to pick and choose. Do I pay rent? Do I pay lights? Do I pay my car note? Do I pay my car insurance? I mean, I'm still in a circle of a circle of confusion. I'm not any better off. So that's not going to me, that I don't feel like that's going to sway my opinion as far as because I might be in the older bracket. Maybe the young kids might think that way. I understand that, but they'll find out one thing about it. If they don't know, they will.
Well, but I don't think it's an older crowd topic or a younger crowd topic. I think it's a people topic. When somebody comes in and saves the day.
Tyrone, I will say it was young.
They saved your day. They ain't saved mine. I got Social Security. I got Medicare. I got all the stuff I got to pay for. They ain't saved my day. So that's a lot of stuff you ain't even worried about right now. So that's where we make the difference between younger people versus older people and how they're gonna feel about this situation. Because they may give you enough money to go kick it and party on, but you ain't getting enough money to pay my bills or whatever. We got an issue. We got a problem.
And $600 ain't gonna pay mine either. But what I'm saying is, it's enough. It was something to make people feel that he had done something. That's my point. It may not have been enough to pay all your bills. But it was something, an order, an action. He was voted into office because he was different than what we typically see when it comes to a politician.
He cheated.
So
he cheated his way into office. He wasn't voted. He cheated his way in.
Got it, but he in there.
There you have it.
But he in there.
Yeah, and I'm waiting on him again because he cheated again. It ain't that we voted him in.
This executive order, it could be cheating. It could be him, throwing a sucker punch to get him back in there. But it's going to sway people because people are going to feel, regardless if this money, this $400 is going to pay your bills or not, it's something. And when what their normal politicians wasn't able to do was come to the table with an agreement on both sides that put them in a bit different place. And him, with his mindset, came on in there and made it an executive order, which people are going to feel that he did something, and that can sway a vote.
I agree. I had a conversation with my niece last night, and She swears and beholds, oh, he gonna get in. I've been telling you forever, he gonna get in. My thing with her, all I need you to do is go vote. You go vote, and then we'll talk about if he gets in. If everybody sit and talk like you talk, and y'all really planting those seeds out there for these young people, as far as I'm concerned. But you can say what you want to say. My thing is just go vote. Don't just say I ain't gonna vote. Just go vote, and we'll see who wins in the end.
I agree.
That's all.
Yeah, Sheila said earlier, back up to that based on what Debbie just said about the vote. A paltry check will not save folks from the racist fallout of another 4 years of 45. And I think we have to understand that unequivocally, that it is not going to help the cause. I am concerned. I am very concerned that the young people are seemingly buying into this concept, and I think that's what he's banking on. And so
it's not just the young people, though.
Yes, it is.
Y'all have to have faith in your young people. Your young people was leading this country.
I don't know, Tyrone, and I hear you, but I don't see that mentality as widespread amongst people my age and a little bit younger, and definitely not older. Because old folks gonna look at you and say, "Are you crazy?"
Okay.
No, I'm so serious.
Okay.
I'm ready that's with my Medicare.
Right. Yeah.
Sheila said the administration has not provided the means to reduce the rampant spread of the virus. The economy can't recover until the virus is somewhat contained. And so I'm gonna go back, thank you, Sheila, to something that you said, Tyrone. How long are we gonna keep paying people? But you're the one that won't contain the virus. You're the one that won't give leadership to shut this curve down. There are countries that are having zero cases. But this country, with this mindset that Trump is pushing, we got to get back. What's the point in getting back if everybody you push out there is going to be dead?
So what would it look like for us to contain the virus at this point? Will we shut down again?
Well, we may need to shut down because you wouldn't shut down and do right the first time.
But can we blame it all on the administration, though?
Yes.
Who else? Is there somebody else in line?
So is the administration the one telling people? Is the administration the one out there telling people go to the bar and drink with no mask? Is the administration the one telling people go out to the beach and lollygag and have a good time? Is the administration the one telling people, go to the grocery store and don't wear a mask? It's not just the administration. There's some accountability on us as well.
Said it's gonna magically disappear. It's gonna magically disappear. We won't get above 15. Let's say the administration declared it a hoax. This is all fake news. This is stuff they're making up. It's not it. And then the administration kept lying and said it was under control. We only had just a very small number and we won't get above 15. The administration would not wear a mask. The administration keeps on doing all kinds of damnable things to kill us. And you sit there and ask me, did the administration do it? Who else?
Preach, preacher.
Who else? Agent Orange, the original cheetah. Listen, Cheetos did it.
You keep on. You about to get some more hate from your friend.
Preach, preacher. You got that collar back on straight now. Start, honey.
Orange duck.
The orange duck.
Hey, Donald, the orange duck said it was going to go away, and it has gotten completely out of control. And then you want to say, how long can we do this and continue to pay the people? You pay as long, because this is a direct consequence of the situation that you put us in, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't felt nothing because he still got his money.
Exactly.
His bill is still being paid.
He's still
His
bankrupt.
kid is still eating good. His kid is still dressing good.
He got your stuff because he's a crook.
There you have it. Period.
He's a liar and the truth ain't in him.
Girl, don't make me tear this place up out here.
Please don't.
You better
Girl, I better get my dance on, honey.
when you hear the truth, your spirit drops into the truth. That's right, Tyrone. Take a sip. Take a sip. He's still lying, Tyrone.
Mhm.
And this is the thing that worries me, because there are minds that, and I know you're saying this is the appearance that he took advantage
Yes.
of, and
Yeah.
but it's only smoke and mirrors. It's not real. It is all fabricated.
Mhm.
It's all fake. But
And I don't think people understand that. So that's when I say he's playing to a base who don't understand. Because even talking about, stopping some payroll taxes and stuff, people don't understand how that's going to impact them as they get older.
oh, absolutely.
That's right.
So there's a base that he's playing to that they don't understand the bigger picture of things. They feel in this moment he's coming in and saving the day. Now, of course, I know $400 extra ain't gonna pay nobody's rent. If you're only getting 25% of your pay from unemployment, extra $400 ain't gonna take you nowhere. Especially you got kids and everything else going on. I know that, but there's a base of people who really don't understand. They live in the moment of now, and right now they feel he's done something for them.
I can understand that.
I understand it.
I just hope you're wrong. I just hope you're wrong about forced voting and
Absolutely.
getting it back in there.
Johnny,
I understand the concept.
I'm gonna defer to you for a hot second to say something, and I'm gonna let Debbie come back on the cigarettes, and then I want to get on this last little piece, and we're gonna get up out of here. Because this topic is hot. It's popping, it's jumping, it's off the chain. And as I said, we're not gonna resolve this tonight, but I had to roll back around because listen, I upset some folk last week. I really did. I disturbed folks' spirit.
You disturbed them this week too. Wait till you get off here.
Dang.
Come on, Johnny.
Well, the only thing I have to say about the leadership, as my daddy used to say, it has been piss poor from the beginning. And Tyrone, you don't have to. I don't think that it's the responsibility of the people. Yes, we need to have some common sense, but everybody ain't got it. So if there's no bar to go to, if the bar is closed, then we can't go in there and sit unmasked and do all that. I mean, we're getting ready to open up schools with rates higher than they were when we closed. It just doesn't make any sense. It's been just a big mess up, and I had to really concentrate on not saying something else right there. It's been a big mess up from the beginning. It's just, the whole thing is ridiculous. And as much money as this country spends on bullshit, we can give the people $600 a week. Come on now. We can give them $600 a week. That isn't anything.
$600 a week too then.
Well, I do too, but I ain't gonna get it. But for those who need it,
if you give it to one, you give it to all, because I can use it too.
Well, now I agree with you. But for those who need it to, I mean, just stay on top and not necessarily ball out of control. Give these people some money so they don't. I mean, other countries are doing it. $1,200. Come on now. And regular unemployment is a joke anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
It is a joke anyway. But with the $600, it was better. And then $400, you might as well, you wasted press and energy signing that order that may or may not be enforced. It's all a big joke to people that it doesn't matter to. But that's pretty much everybody on Capitol Hill. We
find money to give to billion-dollar corporations that they need to bail out so that they can stay operating. And I'm like, how in the world do we see any equity in that? So, Tyrone, to me, when you start talking about if you can find the money, and they didn't have to hunt for that money, they found it. It's like it was just laying over in the corner somewhere. Oh, give the banks, give the airlines, give list companies that make billions of dollars, give them money. And so here we just hand over all of this money to billionaire corporations, and then you want to argue about a paltry $600?
Yeah, because I think they gave my company $80 billion to process the claims.
Golly.
Oh boy.
That's why we're getting all of them, because they gave us $80 billion to pay them. Yeah, and we have team members who are barely making it. Most people that have reported into me work part-time jobs.
And that's the other thing, because they're going to utilize the labor that is getting paid the least and work them the hardest. I was walking past someone at the funeral home when I was there on Friday to conduct the funeral for the little baby. And the gentleman walked past me and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he said to me, "They found out I could pick more cotton, and the more cotton I picked, the more they put on me." And that's how it always works.
Yeah.
That's how it always works. And got nerve to cut the pay. So then when we get down, and I'm not saying they cut his pay, I don't know, but I'm just saying as a general rule, that tends to be, we'll work you harder and pay you less. So at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says, $600 for the people of the country, they ought to gladly pay it, because you almost killed half of us off. And if you don't wear a mask,
you don't get a bed.
You don't get a bed or $600. No bed, no money for you.
You can put the $600 on your funeral bill.
Right.
Okay, Deb, back around to you, because I know you had so much down in your gut and in your shondo, and didn't want to work right. So I'm gonna give you that opportunity to come back around, because I know, I hope that you understand, and you know it ain't no love loss with us. So you know we talk, we play, we crack, all of that. At the end of the day, Deb, what I'm saying, and I'm gonna say it one more time, and then I'm gonna shut up, and then we're gonna go to one last thing. I still say, with the ethics committee being formed and them deciding, because there are not enough resources, that's the issue. That's the underlying core on which I'm making my statement. I'm not just being mean to people. I'm saying, with resources being an issue and there's not enough beds, if people have failed to wear masks, since we know that's a frontline first order of defense, that if it comes between people that have followed the rules and fall ill with the disease, they should be given top priority over people that didn't wear a mask. Therein, i.e. my statement, if you don't wear a mask, you don't get a bed. So I'm going to give you one last time to try to get this monkey off your back and get this off your chest, because I just feel like, for my loved ones that have been following the rules, they should get a bed over somebody that won't wear a mask. And there you have it.
Well, I'm just going to make this short and sweet. I look at it like this. You know, I'm just so torn. But anyway, I'm saying this. No mask, no bed. I don't really get it, because I feel like it's just all a big thing. They're all very capable of taking care of any and everybody. I work every day. They take money out of my check. They pay, I pay taxes like everybody else. So if I choose, and I wear a mask, trust me. If I chose not to wear a mask, or whatever the case may be, and I got sick, I still feel I have just as much right, regardless of my personal what I feel and what I don't feel. I don't feel like that have anything to do with me being treated. And that's just how I feel, because I'm, like I said, I work and I pay taxes and stuff like everybody else do. Number two, I want to go back to the beginning. I am a cigarette smoking Christian.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know, y'all was doing the, that he took that away. He left my cigarettes for a reason. So, and that's premium. I don't want nobody praying. I don't want nobody sending out no prayers. I'm about to pray for. No, do all that. Say that for these COVID people. But it's just between me and God. We got this, and he got this. So, but anyway, getting back to that, I'm just saying that I'm using that as an example because I choose to smoke. And even though the warnings are out there that says all these different things and all this and all that, nothing's proven. They can't even prove really about this COVID. They don't really know enough to even say about this mask wearing or not wearing. We're doing this just to protect ourselves. God says, okay, we have to follow the law of the land. Law of the land says, let's wear masks. But for 1 minute, don't y'all get it twisted that mask or them gloves is keeping you from getting COVID.
Yeah.
It's grace and mercy, baby. It's all about him. Whenever y'all get through. So that little piece of material, y'all want to fight over the bed and all that. If I got a bed with my name on it, y'all can have it. Because the only bed I want to fight on, and the only bed I want to lay down in is my own. So I'm done with that. But I just feel like everybody across the board, no matter whether you get it, if you're sick, get treated. Because somewhere along the line, you done paid for that treatment way down for somebody else or found somebody else paid for it. And I'm done.
I appreciate you. And then before you go, I do want to say disclaimer, because listen, I was joking about the urban spices.
Oh no, that's fine, y'all. Girl, you ain't hurt my feelings none. I done been there and done that too. I've been delivered though. I've been delivered, but hey, it's all right.
Listen, even if it didn't make any difference to me.
We all fell short. So there you have it. I ain't changed. Matter of fact, now it's legal out here. I'm good. Because if I want to, it's a law of the land. We can smoke it.
Rhonda Royal Fort said, "Hey, Deb." She said, "Hey, Deb."
Hey, Rhonda. I'm sorry I missed her.
Thank you for joining us. And you can want or you not. This is the last thing, and we're gonna cover. Now you see, Rhonda is not here. We miss you, Rhonda. Rhonda was delivering her great nephew to college on today, and I'm so happy for him. I can remember when he was born, and I just almost can't believe it right now that baby is old enough to go to college, but he is. Hope you made it home safely, Rhonda. Now, this is the last thing I want to cover. What y'all think about that?
What is it?
Okay, let me. Can you see it?
Oh, it's a mailbox with a lock on it?
Yes.
Oh, Lord Jesus, Father God. Come into the room right now, Jesus. We need you. That orange man done did that, girl.
What's the lock for?
It cannot
to
be
keep
used.
you from mailing your vote.
Oh.
See, but that's your boy. That's your boy.
Tyrone, you know what? You're gonna be my innocent baby. You are so Deb, he's still trying to figure out between the navel and the knee.
Oh, bless his Lord.
I'm still trying to figure out what's between the navel and the knee.
As she puts out her Debbie, put your Salem's back up here.
Oh, yeah, you can see that heel. Oh, Jesus. Baby, not yet, baby. They just wanted to say, hey. I didn't know y'all could still see me. You got the mailbox up here.
It was Salem. All I saw was Salem Green, girl. Salem Green. Now, we have individuals that are saying, and I got so mad, I just didn't even respond. There is Anita Harvey. I'm with you 100%. How is this man getting away with this? I just don't understand.
Has someone stated like what the purpose behind that is outside of just him pulling some trickery?
You haven't seen them. They are okay. Let's go here and see. Postal Service. My father made a whole life career in the post office. My sister was in the post office. My brother was in the post office. Post office has been central to my life, my whole entire life. This man has pulled out the sorting machines. Now, so let me bring you up to speed because you're looking kind of confused right now. Is it you looking at me like between the navel and the knee?
Oh, Jesus.
Is there confusion between the navel and the knee?
Unless you
Lord
want it to be.
So Tyrone, so you know that the man put his friend over the post office. Okay, you aware of that?
No.
Oh, okay. So here we go. So we start with just a brief overview. This man, because we've already started this discourse, if he loses, it's because there's voter fraud from the mail.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So his whole move has been to suppress that. Now, after you shut down, who knows how many polling places,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got people that have to travel halfway from one side of the country to another just to make their vote known. You've done gerrymandering, which is the redistricting, so that you're favoring certain candidates to win by how you redistrict. He's done all of this stuff overtly. We ain't even trying to throw a rock and hide our hand. We just throwing a rock and standing there. So now his last thing was that if he loses, it's because there's going to be voter fraud from the mail-in of the votes. So here we are now in mid-August. This man has taken away the sorting machines to sort the mail. He has literally had them start going out and taking the mailboxes, putting them on trucks and hauling them away. And that was that picture that I showed you was Seattle today, because in Seattle, Washington, they made such a stink about him pulling them out that the postmaster there stopped pulling them out, but that's what they did.
Oh, wow.
That's what you got. That's the end result of what his response was to the outcry that you can't do this. And so now this is what we got today.
So how are people supposed to vote?
And there you have it.
That's the whole thing, yeah. So if they can't vote and the COVID's out, so you're being limited on where to go and all this and all that, you know. And did you hear the other thing too, Regina, is that he's also trying to halt the money to go to the post office to pay the employees to be able to handle all the voting things that's coming in. If he stops that money, there won't be nobody there to even take the votes when they mail them in and pass them on. And then he's saying anything that's not postmarked or something that won't get counted. So that's the whole thing, is to try to deter the votes coming in that's going to be against him. That way to automatically keep him in.
Now, my question, beloveds, how do you do all of this and nobody says a word? That's what I'm.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Sheila said the postmaster general, who has never worked in the postal service, removal of 671 sorting machines, removing the blue mailbox collection boxes. And then, as you see here, those are boxes that haven't been removed, but they're locked up.
Yeah, one would think that's some type of corruption. That's
You think? He's done this repeatedly. I mean, just when I think this man cannot outdo himself in blatant open corruption, he tops himself every time.
He does it again.
You got white people, and I said it, you got white people who explain his actions away every time with some stupid explanation of how it was not the way it appeared to be.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know all that was going on.
It's ridiculous, and that's why I'm saying, you know, for a raggedy check, and then what would he be doing 4 years from now? I mean, he just, like Regina said, he just keeps stopping himself every time. I mean, you know, we're in a mess now. We liable to be in a bottom of a boat. I don't know, some kind of mess.
Really, that and Johnny, I feel like the oppression is the same oppression that the good people, and because I do believe that there were some good people, the good people felt when they saw Hitler coming to rise. I think when everybody wasn't cheering and how Hitler him as they were marching folks to those ovens. I
Yeah.
feel like somebody, and that's why you had people that started hiding people. And yes, Sheila, he's taking away the overtime pay for the postal employees. So now we got all this mail backing up. We got all of the equipment taken away, and you're not going to pay us for overtime. That is one dastardly degenerate. That's what I said on my post. It is dastardly. And people don't realize that everybody's going to be affected. You're right. After I made the post on my Facebook page, and I ain't scared of Trump. Now, yeah, I'm really not. At the end of the day, because the man, if he's going to kill folk, he's going to kill folk. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you start looking at how he is acting towards the people of this country, and nobody challenges this man, I don't understand it. I don't get it. When I made the post and I said this, we have people that rely on the post office to get their mail. What are we going to do for them? And you're obviously showing that you don't care. And I had some people that began to respond back, because even in the military, because they can't always get to the base to get to their medicine and things like that, the mail is critical for these individuals. And you just cut all of that off.
For his own personal gain.
Pandemic.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Because so many people, even for those who weren't using prescription by mail, they now are, to cut back on being exposed. And you know, he can't do, it's like you can't get any worse, but every time you think he doesn't, it's unbelievable. And nobody says anything. They act like they're scared of him, honestly. Well, you know, so many people have lost their jobs jacking around with this dude, but they act like they're scared of him, and you know, maybe they should be.
Fear no man.
There you go. I agree with you there. I'm with you on that, Deb. Because at some point you have to stand up for something. And I feel that
right.
At some point you have to stand up for something. I think when you become so cowardly that you know something is so dastardly and so wrong, and you say nothing, you are complicit in that crime. I believe that. I believe that. If you will not stand up and say something, grow a pair, please. Sick of it. So, I mean, how much more blatant does this man have to get? I feel like he ought to be in jail before November even gets here.
One would think. Because if it was anybody else, they'd be in jail. Pulling the stunts that he's pulled.
Openly.
Yeah.
So then, Tyrone, back to that piece of $600 check. Really?
Yeah.
Now, this is my thing. Yes, for some uninformed individuals, that $600 may seem like a whole lot of money. And I'm going back to the folks that want to feel like, oh my goodness, you know, he's doing us a tremendous favor. That's $600 we didn't have. So listen, that little paltry, and I love the word, and I love that word. I'm glad Sheila used it tonight, because I can say it over and over again as much as I want to. Paltry. That check is paltry piece of check. I got all my P's in. A paltry piece of check.
But they're not going to see it that way, though.
That's because they're uninformed.
Correct.
Mhm.
because they
Which
don't know.
which tends to be a lot of low income people who aren't informed.
Not
No
all-
disrespect, no disrespect to my low income people. No disrespect. I love y'all. I've been there before. But I mean, when you feel someone's come in and saved your day and not understanding the bigger picture of things, people are swayed that way. They're either you're gonna have people who feel that he's done something. They're gonna vote for him or they're not gonna vote at all.
Well, let's throw in Kanye as the spoiler.
Oh, no. That's a joke.
So it's been said that Kanye said out of his mouth he was doing it on purpose as a spoiler, purposely. And so this is my concern. And I'm gonna say, okay, so Tyrone, you tell me about the cancel culture. So
Yes.
number one, we don't know the facts, even just the basics of what's really going on. And I'm saying
Mhm.
that I'm making a blanket statement, and that's not fair because everybody in the cancel culture is not uninformed. We don't know the facts of what's going on with the post office. We don't know the facts of these checks. We don't know the facts about this and that and the other. We're getting ready to vote. So I'm looking at this man as a savior, or I'm looking at this mentally ill gentleman just because he's a good black rapper. And now all of a sudden, the black vote from the young generation is critically endangered because of ignorance.
Well, first, let me say, we have to put a little more faith into the young black vote. Young black people, well, young people, period, who really care about this country and their livelihood and their future, they're not looking at Kanye West to be anything other than a rapper. So regardless of if he did it just to for clickbait or whatever it was, people who are really going to vote, young people who are really going to vote, are not looking at Kanye West to be a political figure.
But they're looking at the $600 check for salvation and deliverance.
And again, not all young people are looking at this $600. There's a I'm just saying there's a base of people, and they're not all young. Truth be told, there's a lot of our older generation that's looking at that $600 like, I made it. And in this moment, because they live their whole lives day to day, they live their lives in the moment. And you got older people still living their lives in the moment. You have a lot of our younger generation is what's moving this country forward. Because there's a lot of things that the older generation, no disrespect, stepped back and said, I'm just gonna go with it just to stay safe. And it's that younger generation that's out there making things happen. So let's put that out there first and foremost, while y'all trying to knock down the younger generation like we just gonna vote for any and everything for $600. Trust me, $600 with or without a job ain't getting us nowhere. But there is a base of people that $600 is going to impact. But there's no base of people, I personally feel, that's looking at Kanye West as a political figure.
Sheila said, if only 5 to 7% of voters fail to vote or vote for Kanye, the election could be stolen again. We need every vote. And so I think I'm trying to speak to, and I'm definitely not. Let me make this clear to all of because we have had some millennials on here. We've had some other young people on here. I know some of you guys are informed. I know some of you guys know what's going on. And so you are definitely not deceived with the $600 check, but there are a lot of people out there who are not. So, and a lot of people, even like the conversation we just had, that are unaware of this diabolical behavior that's going on with the post office. I am concerned again to put up the number that Sheila said. We only talking about 5 to 7%. You don't need a whole large margin. We just need a very slim margin to vote foolishly, and we could potentially be in trouble. Ladies, do you all agree, Jonna, Debbie? Because at the end of the day, I have a concern. And even when I said that, Tyrone, let me finish my thought, and then I'm gonna let them say what they're going to say. I have a concern. How can we reach the young voters that we need? And I'm not just talking about black voters. I'm talking about all voters. At this point, I'm not going color line at all. I'm not really trying to address anything other than this man's monstrosities are so outrageous that he needs to be stopped in his tracks. Everybody that can combine and come together needs to come together. So that's where I am. So I'm for everybody. And so Tyrone, I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. I'm gonna let Debbie and Jonna say what they have to say on the point of this concern about the small, even if it's a small percentage of young Black voters or young poor. Let's put them in class, because class is probably going to be the bigger issue, not race. Young poor voters that are going to see him, number one, as a savior. Look at Kanye as a potential, because Kanye been running around the country for the last year having church at people's churches and been packing it out. Now, people that don't be oblivious to that, because those same people that were packing out his concerts from church to church, those same people have developed some kind of attachment and rapport with this man, and those same people may potentially vote for him.
The white churches.
No, he wasn't just at white churches, baby. He wasn't at just baby.
He has a fan base, and trust me, it's not with a whole lot of African Americans.
Well, they do a good job of showing all the Black folk in the videos.
Of course.
And the churches that he's going to are Black and white. Come on now. He's been all over. I saw him in song. Who's his replacement? Jamal. He was at Jamal's. He was, and then listen. He been all of them.
We don't count Jamal.
Okay, I'm gonna let that one go. At John. Are you all cool with the young vote?
If you vote for Kanye, is something wrong with you? You're not paying attention, and you need to see somebody. You do need to vote, not for Kanye though, but you really need to get some therapy or some counseling or something, because you're missing some scruples. I mean, there's nothing else to say there. You're not paying attention, and you need to be. Any idiot off the street knows that he does not have a chance to win. So any vote for anybody other than Biden and Harris is a vote for Trump. Now that's just how that is. And all that other fluff around it is just talk. We got to get to the facts, because we can't stand another 4 years of this. We just can't do it.
Deb.
I've really lost the hearing. I can hardly hear. But I heard a little or enough of Jonna, so I'm just gonna say ditto.
Okay. Okay.
But my question, because I never really took the Kanye situation serious. I always thought it was a joke. So what party is he running under, or is he potentially trying to run under? I really haven't looked into it, because again, like I said, I thought it was a joke.
I think he's independent.
Okay.
I mean, don't quote me, because I'm not paying that much attention to it. It's such a distraction. I think that's what the whole thing is. It's just one big distraction from the real issues. And like he said, or like people have alluded to, he's helping the Trump campaign with this bull crap.
Yeah, I never really paid much attention. I just saw the meltdowns and was like, oh, this is a mess.
So as we wrap it up, this becomes my concern. And so Tyrone, I'm going to throw it back to you, because I feel like it's going to take young people like yourself to go out and educate other young people. I mean, I'm happy to do it as much as I can, but they need to understand what's going on in the postal system. They need to understand. And so then I'm that's all I'm gonna say, because that'll take me on a whole nother tangent for a whole nother 45-minute run. And we gonna let y'all go. But what is your do you have any suggestion? No, don't even let me formulate a question. I just want you to express your thoughts right there, and we'll leave it at that.
And this is on the whole voting situation and everything?
Yes. And I'm looking particularly as it relates to young voters.
I honestly feel that in this day and time, we're seeing a huge rise in young people, period, regardless of race and economic status, who are really making changes in this world and really wanting to change and speaking out and making their voices heard. I would say it's really important that our young people and I guess I'm young too, almost 40, but I'm young. Really take the time to really understand, what's going on and who's out there trying to represent us. That's very important. And not to be discouraged. I know for me when I was younger, my first time voting and that person didn't win, I was discouraged and was like, I'm done with it. It's not important. My vote doesn't count. But not to be discouraged and just continue to fight and make your voice heard, because we need change. We can't do another 4 years of what's going on right now, because right now it's crazy. We were once known the most powerful country in the world, and it's not looking that way right now. I mean, we're literally a joke. And if we give this man another 4 years, coronavirus is going to be the least thing we have to worry about in another 4 years, because he's going to feel he has the power to do whatever and anything he wants to do, and it's going to be a mess. So I would say to my young people, and even myself, really get educated on what's out there, what's at stake, and vote.
Thank you. Well, Rashida brought up the point. Republicans are working to get Kanye on the ballot in several states. Stay aware, folks. I got to ask you to stay aware. We're getting ready to wrap it up. We appreciate you for joining in today. Debbie has been our special guest. I'm talking, yes.
Come back anytime.
It's been a pleasure.
Oh, we've enjoyed every minute of it. I usually go around and ask everybody for your final comment, whatever you want that comment to be. So I'm going to give you a second to think it through, and then we up and out of here. Rhonda, we missed you. Oh, my God, we missed you, but we'll see you next week. Thank you for driving safely and making it to and fro, and we'll catch you next week. I'm going to start with Debbie. We'll go around to Jonna. We'll go around to Tyrone, and we out. So it's a matter of you saying whatever you want to make that last comment. And there you go. Start with Deb.
I'm only going to say thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed being a part of this. If there's ever another hot topic, I hope to be able to pop in again. But this has been the ultimate for me and my babies. They've been waiting patiently for me. So. But I just want to say thank you again. And I think it's all going to be good. And we just got to keep God first, honey. We got up above and we got each other by our sides. I think we're going to be all right. We'll make it.
Yes. Anita said, yay, Debbie, yay. Yay, yay, yay.
Hey.
Thank you. Jonna.
My final thoughts. Wear a mask so the unethical committee does not have to decide your fate. And do not be so easily distracted with this other nonsense. The candidates are Trump, Biden, and Harris. No more Trump, so we got to go with the remainder. Whether we wanted them or not, please cast a vote. Help somebody cast a vote. If you don't know how to do it, ask so we can stop the nonsense and get off the circus.
Thank you.
That's
Tyrone.
I'm going to say, to the older generation, let's not doubt our younger generation, because we're leading this country. Please wear your mask. And for anyone who disagrees with anything I have to say, make sure you fact check before you come on. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
There you have it for tonight's edition of Yes You. It's been Debbie. It's been Jonna. It's been Tyrone. And we're so glad to have you. And we want you to have peace for your journey. Bye-bye.